Hi, welcome to Infusion Health, the podcast. I'm comedian Cris Patrick, aka self-proclaimed Power Man, and I'm here with my co-host and significant other Rach.
Hey guys.
Now today we got Katie Etzvold. She as you know before, we've talked to her about she worked at a place called Restore Hyper
Wellness.
Restore Hyper Wellness about cryotherapy, but also too what they have there is they got IV therapy. Now what IV therapy is, I guess they stick a needle in your arm and something goes. Rach had it done, and
that's a great description.
Well, when you had it done, I was watching TV, so I was like, "Oh, you got something in your arm." Okay, but anyways, we're going to talk about IV therapy and the effects of IV therapy and exactly what IV therapy is. I know it's more than just sticking a needle in you.
That's good.
But I'll let Katie. Katie, can you explain to us what?
Bring her on in.
Katie, welcome to the show.
Hello. Hello. Yes.
Hello.
Not only do we do cryotherapy, but we do as well IV hydration. And kind of like a quick little rundown of what that is.
Yeah.
Is we have all sorts of different minerals and vitamins here in store. We also do Zofran and Toradol. But basically what it is yes, you are getting a IV needle into your arm. Hopefully we can get it in the antecubital area. That is where we love to go.
Uh-huh.
And then we put almost any concoction of those ingredients together, a bag of fluid, and that is the basic rundown of an IV with us. Yeah.
So to make the listeners understand, I'm just going to explain this just a little farther.
Yeah.
Like you go into the hospital and you get hooked up to the IV in the ER or in the hospital room. It's very similar to that, but they are adding minerals, vitamins, and Toradol if you need it.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do get a lot of people that are trying to avoid, especially for hydration, trying to avoid the ER. Obviously here at Restore, it is a lot more of a relaxed environment with couches, chairs and whatnot that you can lounge out in. And then we have a pre-made menu side. Basically, if you're like, I don't know what I need, I'm suffering with energy or lack of that, a metabolism boost, tissue, muscle tissue recovery, anything like that. We have pre-made ones, or if you know specific minerals that you're interested in and vitamins, or if you just want to run down from one of our registered nurses that administers all of our IVs, then you can get that there, and we can help you out with pretty much anything your heart desires, really, for an IV.
And how long has this type of therapy been around?
Oh man, quite a long time. It's only been recently in the last few decades, maybe even 10 years, where it has been IVs used in more of I don't want to say a recreational sense, but out of that hospital setting. We do have other IV places in the Twin Cities and, nationwide. But they've really only been around the last 10 years where you can choose to go get an IV and not necessarily be in that hospital ER setting where you're needing it just for fluids. We're really helping build up that micronutrients.
Mm-hmm.
For myself, I was on a migraine group, and I'm like, I need other sources besides, running to the hospital right now to help me through this migraine, because I had a 5-day migraine. It was so intense. And I knew from working at the hospital how crazy the ER was. I mean, just to get up into a room, it would take 36 hours. Just to be seen, it would take quite a few hours. And I'm like, I know what I need, but I don't know how to get that service. And they're like, IV therapy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I looked it up, and I'm like, Cris, we're going. And it was such a relaxing setting, and knowing that you can go in and get out without having to disturb anything with having to go to the ER. Now, granted, for anyone listening, I'm giving a disclaimer here. If you are in more intense pain or do not understand your pain, please go to the ER.
Yes, absolutely. I do want to kind of ride on that as well. We do not take anybody that is actively sick or hurting in that way. Obviously, we are not a healthcare facility.
Mm-hmm.
We are more on the retail side and just helping people maintain a better, healthy lifestyle, for the safety of our staff as well. COVID was a big thing, and flus and everything coming out of winter and whatnot. We do not have the proper cleaning as intense as a hospital to take on people with those types of symptoms. So yeah, we're really promoting healthy people that just want to do better, getting those nutrients that they might not be getting in their day-to-day life. That is our key goal there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So can you run through some of these vitamins that they have there?
Yes, absolutely. So the biggest ones that we have, we do vitamin C, vitamin D, we do several different vitamin B, B12, B5, B6, B complex, a whole bunch of things like that. Taurine, lysine, biotin, pretty much anything that is naturally made in the body, we have in store. We also do things like micronutrient testing. So you get a blood draw, so you can actually see what you're deficient in. Takes about 5 to 10 business days for it to come back in store, and then we read over that with you, so you actually can tell what your body is deficient in, and then we cater your IVs to that.
So whose body would be deficient? Like if you're deficient in vitamin C, I go in there and I get vitamin C pumped into me.
Oh, you would be amazed who's deficient in vitamins and minerals in the body naturally. Almost everybody has something that they are deficient in, whether it is that, those vitamins and minerals and whatnot. So really almost anybody can benefit from getting these. Now, people that are suffering from, more severe dehydration or lack of energy, those are people that might be more better candidates exactly for IV therapy. But almost anybody can get an IV and it's going to benefit your body.
Mm-hmm. So how long does this IV stay in your arm? 20 minutes, half hour?
So we say about 60 to 70 minutes. It all depends on whether it's your first time, what ingredients you're getting, so on and so forth. But we definitely like to say no less than 60 minutes.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So then you got vitamin B, because I know a lot of people are deficient in some of these vitamins, and some of these vitamins can be found in your regular foods like carrots and stuff like that. Vitamin B12, vitamin B12 complex, and stuff like that. Beta carotene.
I think the difference is that this is a direct.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say exactly. I know everybody takes a multivitamin, or most people do, and if you're eating leafy greens, if you're eating a well-balanced diet, you are getting a lot of these vitamins and minerals in your body. But the difference between orally and intravenously is astounding. When you take something orally, your body is absorbing about 20% of it. When you get it directly intravenously through an IV, your body is absorbing about 90% of it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have do you have caffeine?
Oh my God.
No, but I wish IV. No, but B5 is kind of our, if you are suffering from lack of energy, B5 and B12 really boost energy, kind of help regulate mood, and also oxygen reuptake. So all those things that are going to help you feel a little bit more energized in your body.
Mm-hmm. Well, I knew that was a big thing years ago. I don't know if we still have those oxygen places where people go and they pump oxygen into.
Absolutely.
Oxygen bars.
People, yep, still have oxygen bars. Yep.
I've never been to one.
I cannot do the science on that either, but
and they do not have those at Restore, just so you guys know.
No oxygen.
Yeah, no.
But just for myself, when I was hooked up to the IV therapy, I did feel more energy from that B12 and those other vitamins that they were helping me through that moment. And so yeah, I mean, in a way, that was my caffeine bag, because I definitely got natural things to help me with my energy and bring down that pain level.
Exactly. And it's a lot better than, getting that crash later on. You're getting these things that your body naturally needs to help with that ATP energy creation. That's going to give you that, less exhausted feeling, and you're getting that hydration. All good things compared to that coffee at 7 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
and then you're crash and then the jitters.
And that was one of the things, because she was going through pain like every day, and then she's like, "Take me here." I'm like, "Take you where?" So we went over to I think not Minnetonka, but we went over to Edina, and we stopped there. Like, what is this place? And we went in there, and they hooked her up and all that.
I come back with a bag. He's like, "What in the world?"
I was like, "Yeah, what is this? This is a doctor's office?" And she's like, "No, it's IV therapy." I'm like, "What is IV therapy?" So we looked at it, and we're sitting there like I said, she had the IV in her. I was watching TV. And after she got it done, she goes, "I feel more better." And this was after like 5 days of pain. And this was something that really did help her out,
Absolutely.
And again, I emphasize, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're dealing with, do not go there. Go to the ER.
Yeah. You definitely want to check it out with a doctor first.
So, I am a strong advocate in what's going on with my body. So I knew what I needed, strongly needed.
Well, what exactly did they pump? Did they pump into you that day? Was it B12 or B?
It was definitely the Bs. There's more than one B. So definitely the Bs, and then it was vitamin C. I'm going to tell you guys something about this vitamin C. It tastes like one of those children multivitamins when it hits you.
Yeah. Yes, any B vitamin is actually kind of frightening when you get it in. I remember the first time I got an IV, and I mean, it was instant. She put it in the IV, and then all of a sudden I had this taste in my mouth, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness, what?" I couldn't believe my body was so fast.
Yep.
But that's how you know your body is really taking it in.
Yeah.
And what is the thing with, like you said, some people are calcium deficient, or get their deficiencies, but sometimes is it because we don't eat like enough carrots or enough oranges or enough, to get the natural vitamin C in our daily diet?
It varies. A lot of it has to do with diet. A lot of it has to do with diet, but also just kind of like how you are maintaining your health throughout. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you giving your body a chance to recover? What is your heart rate variability? All these things go into how our body is able to produce more of these nutrients naturally. Sometimes people are just not going to be as efficient making the right nutrients that we need. And that's why we get assistance from multivitamins and whatever. But this is just the next best thing to get it absorbing better in our bodies, to get that added hydration as well, because, those two things together are really going to improve your life, and pretty immediately.
Well, the thing about multivitamins, like you said, it's really hard to find a good multivitamin, because you got all these companies that make these multivitamins, and they're not regulated. So it's like you don't know exactly what it get, because I mean it could say calcium, but how much calcium is actually in this multivitamin? And a lot of stuff they put like a little bit of calcium in it, but then all of it's filled with sugars and all this other stuff, all this fillers and all that. So it's really hard to find a really good multivitamin.
Absolutely. Yep.
But I also have to say, it's not just diet. It's not just how you exercise your body, but it could be a shock to your body. Something shocked your body. A car accident, or you shocked your body by having a hangover, or something changed drastically in your body, that why you would need this.
Yeah.
We get all sorts of people, like people that, like we were talking about earlier, young, old, healthy, prime of their life, not so healthy, whoever the case may be. Everybody is a very good candidate for this kind of therapy, just because you're really not hurting your body by adding more hydration to it. We never overdo anybody on fluids. We have requirements for how much fluids you can get in a week, and same with micronutrients. We are giving everybody, the proper dosage there. We're not overdoing it on anything. We're not underdoing it. And, you are getting those 100% pure vitamins and minerals. So it's like when you're talking about those multivitamins and everything where you're, getting those micro doses, that's not what was happening here. We're giving everybody the full substantial amount that they need to benefit their life.
And do you recommend, how many times should somebody come in a week and get IV therapy? Once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week?
So most of our clients come in about once a week or every other week. So about 2 to 4 times a month. Mm. Some people do come in for 2 bags of fluid a week. That is our maximum. You could do that if you wanted. Most people don't necessarily need to get that many IVs, doing something like 8 IVs a week, a month. But really, if you can stick to about 2 to 4 a month, you're doing yourself a big service there for sure. And that
I
is
think
very
for
good.
the newbies, it's important to get that test that you were talking about. What is your body deficient in?
Yes, yeah, we really promote doing that micronutrient testing when you first come in. That way you can see exactly what you need and what you might not need as much of. So that way you can really cater to yourself. And then what we really promote too is after being a client with us for about 6 months, getting that testing again, so you can see that you are efficient in these things. What else are you might not be efficient in now? So it's super helpful to get those blood tests and see.
So what exactly does the test entail of?
So the test, basically what it'll look like, or basically the whole procedure in itself. Say you're coming in for an IV. Right then and there, when we get you with a needle, we can get a blood draw and then you can go ahead and get an IV, or you can just come in and get a blood draw. Super simple. It's like any other blood draw that you would get at a hospital. So as one of our registered nurses, we take your blood and then we ship it off same day. So our lab is down in Texas. It takes 5 days, 5 to 10 business days to come back. You will get an email with a huge list of all of the micronutrients that it tests. So once you get that, you're able to either one, just kind of have it for yourself, or what we recommend is you bring in your lab results, and that way one of our nurses can read over exactly what you're deficient in and what we can add to your IVs to help with that. And how it looks, it's actually really visually pretty easy to understand. It's just a long list of all the different vitamins and minerals, and then it has what you're deficient in green, what you are close to being deficient in yellow, and then what your body is deficient in red. So right then and there, super simple to see. You're looking glutathione, I'm in the red. Okay, now I know I need to get an IV with glutathione, L-carnitine, whatever the case may be. Then on the back side of your lab results, it gives a detailed list of what each one of those micronutrients does for your body. So you can see, you're like, I'm low on that glutathione. What does that mean? Okay, it means that my body's kind of having trouble fighting the damage from stress. Okay, that makes sense why I'm feeling exhausted all the time, why I'm not having the easiest time recovering from sickness and injuries. So you can really kind of put together the puzzle pieces of what is going on in your life and what you can do to make it better for your body.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing too with exercise or working out, or like you said, like you play a sport. Sometimes after a hard practice, or after you lose a lot of vitamins and minerals that are in your system. Even if you drink water, you're still missing some of those vitamins and minerals that you need for recovery.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people will do that. They'll flush their system drinking too much water. We're not taking in everything we can orally, and we're just not absorbing it right. So yeah, it really helps to get it intravenously for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So Rach, do you plan on ever having that again?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I didn't know about the test before, so I might even do the test. Yeah, most definitely. I would definitely do it again. But something's that you've said a couple of times that I really want people to understand is there is a medical person there.
Yeah.
Administering this to you. Most times, like 99% of the times when you go into any of these places, it's a nurse.
Yes, absolutely. That is one thing that Restore really believes in. So everything we have involving medical, whether it's intramuscular shots, IVs, micronutrient testing, food sensitivity testing, or method detox assessments, it is always overseen by a nurse practitioner. So every time we have a new person come in for an IV, you meet with our nurse practitioner over a Zoom call just to go over your medical clearance to make sure that you're medically A-okay to do any of our services. And then after you get the clearance there, then it is always, always, always a registered nurse that is administering, that is giving the advice. I mean, some of our hyper wellness reps and other employees will help you be like, if this is the IV that I want, I'm not sure, go over the menu. But you are always talking that subject matter expert about anything medical related, especially when it involves your personal medical information as well.
So when you do the test, does that include a fat test too, or?
Does that include the which?
A fat test as far as the as far as fat on your body?
Mm-mm.
No.
No, it's not that kind. It's a blood test.
Oh, it's a blood test.
Yes. So everything that we test, it just involves a blood draw. You can tell your food sensitivities and micronutrient tests and method detox assessments from that blood draw.
Okay, well, like we're talking about, if somebody comes in, like say they come in and they've just smoked marijuana, would it be good to get that then, or should they wait until that's out of their system? Or
so to be honest, I do not know of a lot of our clients that do or do not partake in substances like that. I do know that if we have anybody that is currently going through any kind of withdrawal, we do not assess them at that time. You have to be 100% clear, not going through any kind of substance abuse during your time at Restore. So whether that's alcohol related, any kind of drug or anything like that, we really try to make sure that we have clients coming in with a clear mind, clear body, and everything like that before we administer anything to them.
Yeah, I'm talking like, say, hey, I gotta go get this. I'm gonna stop and have a drink with a friend. Okay, now you got alcohol in your system. Would it be safe to go get it then?
No, she's just said that she doesn't. No. They don't take those people.
Oh, okay. So you can't have any alcohol in it. So if you do go there, to our listeners out there, if you do go there and you want to try this, we definitely recommend you try. But we also definitely recommend that you can't have anything in your system, any bad things in your system as far as alcohol or drugs like that in your system.
Yeah, and I will. Fun fact. This is kind of just a personal thing that I have learned, that if you do know you're going out on a night on the town, we'll say, and drinking might be involved, it is actually pretty beneficial to get an IV before. Having that hydration before you go out and do anything kind of wild and crazy out of the norm for your body, you will thank yourself the next morning. I'm telling
you. All right. So is there any other tips or tricks that you guys you would like to tell us about IV therapy that we haven't asked you?
Let me think. We covered quite a bit of it.
Yeah, we really did.
Yeah, really just, it's good to do. It's good to come in and do it, once a week and everything like that. Really listen to what your body needs. A lot of people will come in and get the same thing over and over and not have any, idea of what is helping them in all that case, all of that. Getting that micronutrient testing, like we were talking about, is super, super beneficial. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing kind of what the results come from that. So really looking at the results, not just thinking what your body is telling you, really helps in the long run for sure.
So you would, we have the test done. We come in weekly. About how long should we start seeing like a decent change that we should, you said after 6 months, we should definitely take the test again.
Yes. Oh, that's a great point. One other thing about some of our vitamins and minerals, they last in the body at different periods of time. So, for example, like anything involving a B vitamin, that energy boost, that is going to last in the body, hours to maybe days, kind of helping that rise in energy, compared to something like a vitamin D shot in the arm can last 8 weeks for that immunity boost. Mm-hmm. So that is a good thing for people to know as well. It will depend on which nutrients you're getting, on how fast you will see the results and how long they last in your body.
So like she said, people, it takes time. Everybody's body is different, so it takes time before you get to see your true results.
Yeah. Yep. And it all depends to how your body absorbs and metabolizes those ingredients as well.
Mm-hmm.
So after the therapy, what do you suggest people do? Because you're already pretty hydrated. So what in that next couple of days should you be like trying to avoid, and what should you absolutely be trying to do?
So one thing that we always recommend for our clients, the beautiful thing about IVs is it doesn't really change much for you immediately after, as in like you could still work out, you could still go do your day job, you could go to sleep, as long as you're not taking B vitamins, late at night.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that we really recommend not to do is anything like infrared sauna, for example, because if you've just put all these nutrients in your body and then you go and do a sauna, you're going to sweat a lot of it out.
Yeah.
So I know that's like kind of one of those things where like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But we have infrared sauna at Restore, so we always recommend do your sauna, do your hard workout, get that sweat out before, detox yourself before, then absorb these nutrients in this IV, and then go home and do whatever your daily life is.
Mm-hmm.
Relax, enjoy, feeling that refreshed feeling coming from Restore. So absolutely, it doesn't hinder your life too much. Just don't sweat it out.
Don't sweat it out.
Yeah, don't sweat it out. What is, we said saunas, what about hot tubs?
Same thing. Anything involving kind of like those hot therapies where you're going to rise your core temperature, you're going to boost your metabolism, and you're going to get that sweat going. I would recommend at least 24 to 48 hours kind of waiting on that.
So, Cris, going to the gym next day, light exercise, not intense.
Well, I go by the motto, hit it hard or don't come in. You got to hit it hard.
So, yeah. All right. Well, my dear, I'm looking forward to our future episodes. We got some red light therapy coming up and a couple other episodes to really talk about this new way of life for you guys.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I always love sharing about Restore and kind of like putting it out there and letting everybody know about the goodness that we've got going on in here.
Well, if you want to know more about Restore Hyper Wellness, you can always check them out. They got a website. Is it restorehyperwellness.com or?
Yes, restorehyperwellness.com, specifically Woodbury, Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, they're located in Woodbury, Minnesota. And if you have any questions or know that for Katie, you can find. Can they find you on the website? You specifically on the website?
No, but there is our store number on the website there, so they can call that, and that is a direct line to us at Woodbury. So
yeah, and just ask for Katie Etzvold, and
I think all of them are pretty educated. So okay,
yeah. So if you yeah, so call up the store if you want to try IV therapy or cryotherapy. You can or try them both. Who knows? But definitely want to check them out. Definitely want to give them a call, and we'll have the information in our description to check them out. If you're in the Minnesota area and you want to drive out to Woodbury and get this done and try this, definitely, as Rachel says, she highly recommends it, and you definitely want to try this out once or twice. Or Katie, it's been fun having you again for the show. I think we're going to have her back on in the future, aren't we?
Yes,
Rach?
we absolutely are.
Okay, we'll look more in that, and I'll let Rach close us out.
All right, you guys. On History is Born on Lines of Hate. On here, we're trying to make you your best advocate and build lines of love. Go try out some IV therapy. Have a great one.
Take it easy.